All right, welcome into the Brandon Lowe Show with Ryan Pritt here on HD Media Sports and Video Productions. I'm Brandon Lowe. Next to me, Ryan Pritt, across from the beautiful Jack Withrow. And it is Friday. It is June 17th. It has been, hot, boys, the last couple of days.
Extremely hot.
Yeah, we're here. We're doing this today as the weigh-ins for our weight loss challenge, which we're calling 3 Guys on a Scale. And Jack made a beautiful little image there, 3 guys on a scale. You see it right there on the screen. That is an actual image of me there, standing on that scale. And you. And we weighed in before the pod.
I think the T in the 3 looks like me, kind of just bent over at the waist.
There it is, yeah. Yeah, Ryan came in super light.
Svelte.
Yeah.
That's my preferred word. Thank you.
293.8 for me. Jack, you're at what, 252.6? And Ryan was at 221.6.
Well, it's really easy to weigh in lighter when you have zero muscle mass, because muscle, as we know, weighs more than fat.
It does.
That's what I like to say.
It does.
Yeah, when you're a weakling, it helps. I've heard.
So what we're going to do is...
I'm wondering if maybe mine shouldn't be like putting on weight by percentage.
You putting weight on while we lose weight.
Trying to match your percentage of losing by me adding. But
well, the BMI is always wrong, I think, because, I mean, you get a good athletic, like growing up, I mean, I was just one piece of muscle.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to be to hold that sledgehammer.
Yeah, and exactly.
Yeah, picture. Where is that, by the way? That's not up here.
It's coming back.
Okay.
But, I mean, the BMI is so misleading, though, because you can have, like, hardly any fat on you and just be stacked.
Yeah, I've never looked at that in my life.
It goes by height.
Yeah, height, weight, and weight. Measurements is a big thing.
Yeah, so how does that know what kind of body type you are?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I told you boys, BMI for me was at 40% of my height and my weight that I'm at.
Yeah.
40%. I'm a beast.
Like there are probably, like strong safeties in Division I football that have my measurables. 6'2", 220.
Yeah.
And we're not built the same. I got news for you. Our BMIs are probably not the same, Those guys flip tires, and I strain my back when I step out of bed in the morning. It's not the same. So, no, I don't look at that either. I was telling you guys on the pod that we just didn't record before this one. Thanks, Jack.
I was wondering if I was going to leave it. I was leaving it under the rug.
Well, we call him beautiful. We got to call him out when he flubs up, too, right?
Yeah.
But I don't look at numbers. I won't look at my weight until we weigh back in July 15th. And I've never looked at BMI.
I had the wife look it up. I never look it up until then. I was just like, I'm just curious. Because if you're going all percentages, and she was like, yeah, it's 40%. I was like, ugh.
I think the only number I look at is the waist size of my pants.
Yeah.
Because I've got some 38s. I've got some 36s.
Got kind of so if you can
depending
get to
on how the 36s are fitting, then I know where I'm at. If I'm into the 38s, then it's time. So
it always gets really bad when you're fat and like Christmas time comes around or like your birthday or something. And they're like, what size? And you have to go up another size because you're like preparing for your shirt to shrink in the laundry a little bit. So you're like, yeah, give me a 3X.
I have that problem, but mine get too short, as we've discussed on the radio show.
Yeah.
I have a weird body. What can I say?
Yeah, and I stick with T-shirts. I don't do any like polos or pants because it's like, and it's that whole thing too. Louis C.K. had a bet on it about when you have a stomach and you get fat and your pants start to get loose and you think, I'm losing weight. It's like, no, your pants just can't push it down. Yeah. It gives you just that false sense of hope that maybe, just maybe, you're losing weight somehow without exercise or eating properly.
Yeah, and it's hell when you don't have enough ass to hold up a pair of pants like me.
Yeah.
And that gut keeps getting bigger and pushing it. And there's not a belt in the world that's going to save you there.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to start wearing suspenders, I think.
Yeah, do like trucker style.
I'm going to call Daryl Moore over at Buffalo, man. He broke out a hell of a pair over there, north-south last week.
Really?
I was noticing. I was like, man, that's a cool look, though.
Nice.
You don't see it enough. Like, what if I made suspenders cool? Do I have that kind of clout, you think?
You can get some.
I made shorteroys cool.
I feel like that's just like that's in now. That's like bell bottoms coming back. It's like bell bottoms and shorteroys.
That was some suspenders holding them up.
We get some shorteroys and suspenders
with Crocs
with a tucked in T-shirt underneath.
Heck yeah,
that's the move. I'm gonna look into that.
First week of high school football season. Show up to the press box.
If you're listening in, Father's Day Sunday. Just saying. Nice little pair of suspenders.
That could be your 4th of July get up.
See, I'd have to have those suspenders like 7 foot tall though, like for a 7 foot guy. Because my torso is so damn long.
Right. See, because you have to adjust them to your shoulders.
It's a damn shame God didn't give me matching legs. I'd be in the league.
I think you would.
I'd be 6'8" for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead.
Speaking of the league, did you guys watch the
I heard there was a game
championship last night?
I was going to clear the floor and let Brandon go off because I certainly didn't watch it. I didn't even know that Game 6 was last night.
I think it's absolutely incredible what the Warriors have done as a franchise in general. And I know that's an understatement and that's the most obvious thing anybody can say, but 8 years, 4 titles with guys that they drafted. You and I have talked about it before. But the last 2 years was Steph and Clay injured. Clay got injured and never been the same since the last NBA championship they ran against the Raptors. And, KD leaves, and KD was, he's an outlier. They had him for those 2 years or whatever. But the fact that they come back after 2 years, they have the worst record in the NBA 2 years ago. They get knocked out in the first play-in round last year, and they're back on top of the NBA.
Yeah.
Says a lot about that franchise. Says a lot about Steve Kerr. And Steve Kerr, what an amazing career that guy's had. He's been around Phil Jackson, Michael Jordan, Pippen. Those guys wins titles with the Bulls. Spends some time with Popovich with the Spurs, learns from him, and then gets the job there at Golden State, which I thought was pretty admirable of Mark Jackson last night because Mark Jackson was the coach there before Steve Kerr took over for Golden State. And he just gave Steve Kerr his flowers and gave him nothing but praise on the broadcast, which I thought was really cool of Mark Jackson last night. Yeah. So, and what can you say about Steph Curry, man? I mean, that guy is unbelievable. The fact that he went 0 for 9 from 3 in Game 5 and came back and just took the game over. He took Game 4 over by himself, essentially, and he's just really just transitioned not only just a guy that can shoot from anywhere in the court, but he's taking the ball to the basket and shooting the ball. And then you got to give a shout-out to Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah,
there in Golden State has really found his way in a role with that team. He really took over in some of the games in that finals, and that team just what's so great about that team, it really mirrors a lot of those Bulls and Spurs teams because they're so unselfish. They have stars and guys that can take the game over, but they have those perfect role players that step in just at the right time. And Steve Kerr is one of those guys that can understand that more than anybody. With his role with the Bulls, and then he would step in later on in his career with the Spurs and just hit like 5 straight 3-pointers, like randomly off the bench. So I just think that's remarkable, and it's kind of cool to see the Warriors back on top of the NBA.
Yeah. If you had to draft one today, knowing the career they would have, would you take LeBron or Steph Curry?
I saw that question proposed on Facebook.
Really?
I thought
I came up with one there.
No, not just the draft, but people were, saying, would you take LeBron or Steph right now? And
right now is a little different, though. LeBron's a lot older than Steph, right?
Yeah, and the thing about that is it's
Steph's style.
It's just different.
Yeah,
I mean, he's built different. His roles. I mean, both players are different.
I guess what I meant was if you were to build a team around one of them, knowing the career that they would go on to have, like say they would go on to have this career, like who would you take? I'm taking Steph because I think he's a better teammate. I don't have to worry about him trying to get half the team traded or him leaving. In 3 years.
I was gonna say, if you look at it from a perspective of a guy that can mold himself around guys that are drafted and are fine with the coaches finding the pieces,
and leaving all that crap up the front office.
Sure,
right?
Yeah, I totally agree with you with that. But if you're looking at a generational athlete, somebody you've never, somebody that you haven't seen,
sure.
The height of Magic Johnson, the passing skill mixed in with the athleticism of someone like Michael Jordan.
I also feel that Steph is where the game's headed, though.
Sure. I mean, the 3-point line is, everything has transitioned to the 3-point shot. And, you see it now, even in college, guys will go on a fast break and they'll throw it out to the guy at the 3-point line instead of taking it to the basket.
That's why I could never be a coach. If my team's in 3-on-1 transition and someone takes a 3, I may get kicked out of the game.
That's because we come from the old school, right? Because
this means we're old, right?
Oh, a coach would take you out immediately back in the day. If you did that, you're done.
Oh my God!
At least for a half.
Yeah. So
it's a different game, but that whole argument, it's with Curry or LeBron. There's different things about each guy that you could. There's really no wrong answer there. Because it just depends on what you're looking at as a GM.
Yeah.
But yeah, Curry.
I just wish the game was watchable. So I could watch it.
The thing about it, I mean, I used to watch a lot of NBA regular season. I don't do anymore. But for me,
Golden State would be the most enjoyable team to watch.
Yeah, I love when I see a team like Golden State in the finals. I like the finals anyway. I haven't liked it the last couple of years, but I was really rooting for them just because I really do respect Steph
Did you get
Curry.
a Golden State shirt?
No.
Not
We're gonna
yet.
start seeing that in rotation
I get the
with the Bills.
championship shirts, yeah.
There you go.
But I really respect what Steph Curry's done and Steve Kerr and those guys, what they've done there. I mean, it's a tough. I mean, at any level, at any sport, to have that type of consistency and to overcome 2 years shows how good they are. So
yeah. Okay.
awesome stuff.
Yeah, there's 5 good minutes on the NBA. You guys weren't expecting that this morning, were you?
Yeah,
or I guess
well,
this evening by the time you hear it, right?
I was really wanting to.
I knew you
throw it
were.
out
You've
there.
been lighting social media up with some Golden State stuff the last week.
It's crazy. And that Boston crowd is just, I mean, we know Boston fans are up there with Philly fans, but
I mean, I don't watch the NBA, but the Celtics are a top 3 most hated franchise in sports.
and
for
that's
me.
another thing. I hate Boston.
Yeah.
So, I loved it last night too. And Steph hits this step back 3 and they go up by like 18. I mean, they were running away with it there for a little bit. And he just turns to the crowd and he's like,
I feel like Steph is like, I don't understand how people like and root for LeBron James. He's just such a dislikable person or
The
player.
arrogance.
Maybe not a person. I don't know him as a person, but a player. Just what he does on the court. Now, obviously, he seems to be, good off the court. He's never been in trouble. I know he does a lot of.
Yeah, he did that
good,
school for the
yeah,
kids.
and that's all great. So I'm not bashing him as a person. I meant a player. Steph just seems like a guy you want to root for as a player.
Yeah.
All the time. I don't understand how you don't like that guy.
I've always said this too. You look at a guy like LeBron, he's 6'8", all the athleticism we talk about, and kids look at him and go, how could I ever be LeBron? Like you can say, hey, I might be able to be him.
Take a lot of flops and demand a lot of trades.
when you look at Steph,
Oh, is that not right? I'm sorry.
when you look at Steph Curry, you have him listed like 6'2", 6'3", if he's that.
See, Steph and I probably have the same measurables. Not the same BMI, though.
And obviously, with the weight training and stuff, he's got big. You look at him at Davis and stuff, he was just a scrawny kid. But who would have thought that guy would go in and become the greatest shooter of all time and surpass even Reggie Miller's 3-point record? And
He's going to obliterate that, by the way.
I mean, he's unbelievable.
Well, it was Ray Allen's record anyway.
Yeah, it was Ray Allen's over Reggie, and then it surpassed Reggie and Ray Allen.
It's just, but had Reggie played today and jacked up as many threes,
yeah.
I feel like he probably would have been there too. It's
Sure.
it's a reflection of the game.
Sure, there's their argument there.
Plus, people played defense back then, so that made it tougher.
Yeah, different offenses, and the athlete's different now too. You got to put that in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different type of game. Just like we look at the NFL, we look at even college football the way it is now. Everybody's different. So
Yeah.
good stuff. All right, are we getting near our scoop and score today?
Yeah.
All right, scoop and score is a segment that we've started about 2 weeks ago now. I think right. It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah. This is our fifth.
I think this is our 4th one.
I can't remember.
Because we did Joey, we did Luke. It's our 4th.
This will be
Yeah, we
fourth.
did
It's Joey, Luke, and Alex.
And
So
now
Billy
Billy Seals
Seals.
from Huntington.
Yep, who had a great season last season, 13-1, made the state title game against Martinsburg. Lost that one big, but they ended up beating Midland in the semis. And obviously came off a 2020 campaign, which we'll talk about was weird for everybody, but they actually got 9 games in that year.
Yeah.
With a young team that
Yeah.
helped kind of send them into a little bit of, at least got some experience heading into the next season.
Be something interesting to ask. How much he thinks the fact they got in more games than almost anybody did.
Yeah, there was only 1 or 2 other teams that even reached 9 games.
Yeah.
So an entire state. So
That's a great point. Hadn't thought about that.
So that we'll talk to him about that. Obviously, his quarterback is pretty good too. We'll just see where his team is right now. Obviously, it's early, it's summer, and everybody's getting some work in and stuff. So, and then obviously, we're going to do our 12-pack of questions where all 3 of us will ask 4 random little fun questions with the coach, and we'll have some fun with that as well. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back here with Billy Seals here on the Brandon Lowe Show with Ryan Pritt. to the Brandon Lowe Show with Ryan Pritt here on HD Media Sports Video Productions. And it's time to turn our attention over to our segment, Scoop and Score. We're going to talk now with Huntington High head football coach Billy Sills. Billy, thank you for joining us today on the show.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
So let's start with the fact that I think you and I have talked about this last year going into the season. 2020 was weird for everybody, but you had a young team. You didn't have a great season. Nobody really had a great season in 2020, but you had some young guys. You got 9 games in. You got more games than a lot of teams in the state. And then you turn around last year, 13-1, make the state title game. Kind of talk about, kind of going through that and seeing your team kind of grow up last year.
Well, we felt like in the COVID year of 2020 that it was important that our seniors got as many games as possible, and our football program got as many games as possible. And so, we picked up some schools that we typically don't play. We picked up Wheeling Park and being one of those schools, Bridgeport. So, we didn't duck anybody when we had weeks open, but we felt like that playing as many games as possible during the COVID season was only going to help our program continue to grow. And we knew that was a very young football team with only about 7 seniors on the team. And obviously, it paid some dividends for us in the 2021 season.
My first question, Billy, I don't know if you knew, but me, Brandon, and Jack are all starting a weight loss challenge. And Brandon had volunteered to come down and do some of your workouts. Is it okay if he runs down this summer?
Yeah, tell him come on down. We go at 10. We go at 10 a.m. and I assure you, if he's down here working out with our guys, he's going to win that challenge.
There you go, Brandon. That's all that separates you from a victory, buddy.
Yeah, you just got to turn the heat down a little bit, Billy, for me and Mother Nature, and take care of that, and then I'll be down there.
Speaking of that, man, I know you guys are one of the counties that does your 3-week in July. You and I talked about that a month or two ago, and I know you're in favor of it. What do you do with your team now? What is your team doing now, I guess? And how do you kind of, manage these next few weeks in terms of what they're doing, or are they off?
No, as soon as school was out, and as soon as we got into the month of June, our schedule is Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. in the morning, lifting and conditioning. And, we feel like that June's a very important period for our young men to get out and get evaluated in camps, for college. And so, a lot of our kids make it almost every time during the summer, except that they're gone to camp in the month of June. And so we kind of use that as a camp time, as well as the time for us to, lift and condition as a program and continue to get better in the month of June.
Can you talk about North-South game? A lot of reps down there from your area, including yourself, coaches. We've talked to Luke Sammons recently, and we kind of asked him about the success of a lot of programs down your way, Huntington, Valley, and Midland. Can you talk about what that means for that area and the competition, and, seeing all your programs and the success that you've had the last couple of years?
It just shows the type of players we got in this area. I mean, all 3 programs have been really, really good over the last 10 years, and it's fun to compete against those guys. They're always big-time atmospheres, and there's usually a whole lot on the line when we do play. And so, I'm glad we're one of those programs in the state that has an opportunity to, be in the state championship hunt every year. And, I think it just shows that the amount of work that's put in all 3 programs and the type of quality young men that are in all 3 programs to make them successful.
All 3 of you guys have gotten a look at it here the last decade or so. But, if you had to pinpoint one or 2 things, what is the missing link between everyone else in Martinsburg right now?
Well, they seem, if you go and look at all those games, a lot of them, except for the 2013 game when we played them and they beat us 9-7. Yep. They seem to get in a frenzy for about a 4 or 5 minute period where they may score, and then you make a mistake on special teams and they score again, and then you turn it over and they score again, and then they put you in a frenzy. I think in our game this year, it was 14-7, and we were on the 1-yard line with about 5 minutes to go till the half, and it just kind of, from that point forward, it kind of imploded on us there to end the half, and you look up and it's 35-7 or 35-14, and now you're trying to play catch up against a really good program. So I think you gotta minimize mistakes tremendously against them, because they do capitalize on all of them. And also, it's just another game for them. They've been there so much in their program so many times that I think that, the limelight and the different stadium and the pregame introductions and all that is just another day for them because they're used to being there. And so I think that, the more we get there, the better off we're going to be. And, last year we were a Band-Aid football team when we walked into that game. We had 3 guys that had shoulder surgery scheduled right after the season ended. We lost one of our starters in pregame warm-up to a separated shoulder. So, hats off to them. I mean, they're at the top of the mountain, and everybody's chasing Martinsburg and trying to figure out how to beat them.
Speaking of that, how's the? I know it's early here and we're in summer, but how's the health looking as far as your team? And also, I know you love your defense. So, and last year, I believe you didn't let anybody score more than 21 points last year until you got to that state title game. But kind of talk about your defense and your health of your team right now.
Oh, we're really healthy. I mean, the guys that are returning that had maybe some off-season surgeries or something are progressing really, really well. Our guys were heavily involved in track during the spring, so I know that they've gotten faster and they've maintained, good conditioning. And, I think that we got an opportunity to be a good defense. I got some question marks. It's the first year that we don't have a guy coming back like a Brockton Blair or a Tyree Smith or a Shamik Berger in there at linebacker that, is kind of the glue of the defense. And so we got some question marks at linebacker. But I really feel like our secondary is going to be really, really good. And I feel like with Markel Jones and Gavin Atkins and Donovan Garrett, all 3 of those guys are going to be key to us up front at the defensive end position.
That defense of yours, that's really been, and Brandon and I have talked about this for years, and we've been doing the show. I mean, you mentioned the 9-6 game. I mean, going back that far and even further, your defense has been pretty damn good in the vast majority of seasons, with maybe one exception. I don't know. You could tell us, but why is that? Why is, are you guys so successful in that side of the ball? And just how important is that to you as a coach?
Well, I think your football team takes on the personality of your head coach. I mean, I was a defensive guy in college and throughout high school, and I just think that they know it's important to our program to play great defense. I also feel like if you play great defense, you got an opportunity to win every game. And so, we harp on that. We spend a lot of time at practice on defense, whereas I know some schools may spend 45 minutes to an hour in a complete week to, prepare for a game. We spend about 4 hours a week, whether it be film session or on the field work with getting ready defensively. And so I just think our guys have taken pride in how we play defense. And, there's always a competition between each year with guys talking about, are we the best defense to ever play at Huntington High? And, so I think there's some competition there. And, Coach C.J. Crawford's done a great job with our offense last year. And, anytime you're averaging almost 40 points a game, it's pretty easy to call defense.
That's true. But, as offenses have evolved over the last few years, and you see such a wide variety. I mean, from playing Spring Valley and Midland in games to, Hurricane was slinging it 40, 50 times a game at one point. I mean,
GW.
Yeah, GW. How tough is it to stay on top of all that? And, as a defensive guy, is it fun to try to stay in front of all those evolving offenses?
Well, you definitely got to continue to learn each year. And, anybody that thinks they've got it figured out don't have anything figured out. So we continually try to get better as coaches each year. We go to a lot of clinics and, pick the brains of guys that we respect in the coaching fraternity and try to be as good as we can be. And, I think you got to stay ahead of it with the evolution of offenses today. And you got to continue to put your players in the best position possible to be successful. I think the biggest thing for us is, a lot of people may look at when they get ready to play us, they think, man, they're pretty complicated on defense, but we're really not. We use terminology that our guys understand, and we just allow our guys to go play football. And, it's really fun to coach those guys, and they're great young men, and I know they love Huntington High and love Huntington football.
We talk about your defense, but your offense was pretty damn good last year too. Your quarterback and put up the numbers. First player, I believe, to rush for over 1,000, pass over 1,000, or something like that. And get the house award, and and then you put up a bunch of points. So having your defense the way they played, shutting teams down, holding teams under 21 points, and then you turn around and see your offense thriving too. I mean, it's a pretty simple math there. Why you were so successful last year.
Yeah, I think we kind of, in a lot of those games, we kind of put the pressure on like a Martinsburg does everyone else. I mean, if you feel like that you've got to, every possession is very, very important, because against us, if we're up 2 scores on you, it's going to be tough to come back in the game if we're playing good, solid defense. And so, I think it just makes you maximize every opportunity that you have throughout the game, and how every possession is very, very important to you being able to stay in the football game and keeping it close.
All right, Coach, you want to have some fun with us?
Sure, let's go.
All right, this is the point in this segment. 12-pack of questions. There's 3 of us here in the room, and we'll each ask you 4 little fun questions, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Let's go.
All right. We'll start with this one. Movie or show that you cry to that you would never publicly admit to until now?
Holy crap. That's a good one. I don't know. To be honest with you. The last movie I saw that I thought was just excellent was Top Gun.
Yeah.
And I thought it can't get any better than this, but I don't think I've cried at a movie, and I don't think I ever have that I can think of.
I mean, come on.
No.
There has to be something.
Yeah.
No.
No sports movie?
All right, I'll say this. I'll say I thought The Notebook had a good ending to it. Let's put it that way.
I love it.
I don't know.
That's a manly movie, isn't it?
Yeah. When that opening gong hit and Top Gun and the Paramount logo came up, there was a tear in my eye. Kind of like the Indian and that old trash commercial.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Where they threw the litter. Yeah.
You're right. That movie was excellent, by the way. I've got to ask you this, because just judging from social media stuff, I have a feeling that Billy Seals has the best taste in music of any high school coach in the state. So I'm going to ask you.
Oh, no doubt.
I'm going to ask you for your Desert Island album, and I'm just going to tell you that the bar is really low, because Joey Fields gave us a Now compilation of pop hits.
Pathetic.
So pretty much anything you do right now is going to be great. But if you only have one album to take to a desert island, what is it?
Dirt by Alice in Chains.
Oh my God,
Nice.
this is my guy right here. That might be my answer too.
That's a good one.
By the way, that answer is not getting topped. I don't care what we do the rest of the show.
Yeah.
All right, Coach, if you and your wife are doing a pull-up contest, who wins?
Oh, my wife, she does CrossFit every morning.
That's where we need to send Brandon.
Yeah, I like your wife trained Brandon, actually. How about that?
Yeah, that's pull-ups are always tough, though. I don't care how strong you are. Those are
They are.
tough.
Yeah, no doubt. Especially when you're fat like I am, it's kind of hard to get up there.
All right, you're on death row, and what's your last meal? What do you order?
Japanese.
Japanese. Okay, a little Japanese steakhouse,
Yeah.
hibachi or something like that.
Yeah, hibachi.
Okay.
Give me a little hibachi, a little steak and chicken, a little extra rice, a little yum sauce.
Yep, yum sauce. Got to have that. There you go. All right.
Yeah.
I like it.
Speaking of steak, what is the correct way to cook a steak?
Medium rare.
Yes,
Me and this guy, I'm telling you.
I love it. It's the only way to. That's the only way to eat steak. Yeah.
Sticking with food here, Coach. What do you put on
Hey,
your
I'm
perfect
seeing
hot
a
dog?
theme here. You're asking a fat guy a lot of food questions.
We started our diet challenge today.
Yeah, we're
so-
on this diet challenge, so food's on the brain.
Yeah.
We're just thinking about all the stuff we can't eat right now.
All right, stay with. All right. What do you put on your perfect hot dog?
Ketchup, mustard, and chili sauce.
Okay.
All right.
I like
I
that. I
think
can live with
me
that.
and this guy might be
Pretty
the same
basic.
person.
Pretty basic.
All right, Coach. Let's see. Let's do the Olympic thing. If you could create a new Olympic sport to compete in where you're guaranteed to win a gold medal, which means you're just awesome at whatever this is, what would it be?
Pie eating contest.
Pie.
Hey,
Stick
you
with
brought the
food
food
still.
in this
There
time.
it
We
is.
tried to switch it up. Billy, if there was one team on your schedule that you were guaranteed to beat for the rest of your career every year, which team is it?
Nice.
Oh, that's tough.
It's not.
That's
You just don't want to provide. Come on now. You just don't want to tell.
Well,
them.
you don't want to give anybody any bulletin board
There you go.
material.
Well, the good news is no one listens to the show, so you're good.
Yeah, yeah. I'll say this: whoever the next game is, whoever the next team is.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of people that I enjoy beating.
Well, can I rephrase? Let me try this. Who do you think the fans and the students would call a bigger rival for you, Spring Valley or Midland?
Midland, no doubt.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Next question. Do you own or wear a pair of Crocs?
Absolutely not.
First one on the show to say that.
I don't have any either.
Yeah, I'm not a Croc guy.
Not a croc guy.
Okay.
Last round.
All right, last round. Okay, here we go. Since you're a music guy, what theme song would you pick for your life if you were a show and it was coming on? What would your theme song be?
Gosh. Huh.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I'm thinking here. I'm thinking Guns N' Roses,
Okay.
and I'm trying to think of like I don't know, Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Jungle, or It's So Easy, or something like that.
Or if you're sensitive, November Rain.
Yeah, that's not that. Yeah.
You could just watch The Notebook, mute it, and play November.
Yeah. Put that with the Notebook. That'll be just fabulous.
What is your favorite guilty pleasure song? A song that you would not want to admit to people that you really love.
Oh crap! I'm an '80s guy too, so I mean, you can go with a lot of different things in the '80s. I mean,
Hair bands.
Yeah, I was a big hair band guy, Poison and Motley Crue and things like that. I was a big Joan Jett fan too. I thought she was rocking, but I don't know. That's a good one. It'd have to be some kind of '80s, probably love song or something.
Yeah.
Big Journey, like
Little White Snake.
Faithfully, maybe.
Yeah, Faithfully. I just heard.
Yeah, Faithfully was a good one. I'm a big White Snake fan. I think they got some.
Here I go again on my own. Just punching the top of this roof of his car.
Faithfully by Journey is actually great. There's no shame in that.
No.
That's a slow dance song at a wedding.
Yeah. Close us out, Jack.
All right. Last question, Coach. Do you have a daughter or niece?
I don't have a daughter. I do have some nieces.
Okay, good.
we go, perfect.
Here we go. If the Volunteers and Liberty Flames were playing a football game on a Saturday night, but your niece invited you to her dance recital, what do you do?
Going to the football game every time.
Love it.
There you go.
That's so much easier when it's a hypothetical. That was my real life on Memorial Day weekend, by the way. And
Yeah.
I'm a big racing fan, and we had the Indy 500 and the Coke 600 lined up on Sunday, and my niece's dance recital thought that would be the perfect time for a dance recital. And
Well, what did you do?
He went like a good uncle.
yeah, I might have got booted from the family if I didn't go.
Yeah.
I had to go, man. Still not.
Time heals all wounds. You didn't have to go.
I'm not proud of it, but I went. I don't know.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, maybe I'll get more than socks and underwear this Christmas. We'll see.
Coach, appreciate your time on the show. Thank you for having fun with us. Good luck in the upcoming season. I'm sure we'll talk to you many times here in the near future.
Sounds good. Sounds good, guys. I appreciate you.
Thank you,
Best of
buddy.
luck.
Thanks. Appreciate it. All right, there he goes. Billy Sills, Huntington Highlanders
I kind
head
of feel
football
like
coach.
we just need to retire the 12-pack now. That
After
ain't,
the,
that
the
ain't
dirt.
getting beat right there.
Speaking of that, I can never, ever think about that album until, so we were in Tennessee over at one of those outlets, they're everywhere, and those type of destination places. And they had a Hot Topic over there, and we were, going to get some band shirts. My wife wanted to get some band shirts.
Those shirts are the worst fitting shirts on planet
they are.
Earth,
They're
by the way.
tight
Like,
and-
they're extra larges are this tall
Yeah, they're
and this
small.
wide.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't wear that.
So we go over there, and the wife's looking for a dirt shirt, because it's hard to find in some of those
I wore
places.
that one last week, I think.
And or jar of flies, maybe.
I actually went over to Gucci Kroger right after that, and I walk in, and some guy goes, "Dude, killer shirt."
That's awesome.
I'm like, high five him.
It's
I was like,
actually-
"Okay."
it's
Start
actually a
looking at
hard
the
one, too.
avocados.
Oh yeah, it's a hard one to get apparently. But the guy goes, "Oh yeah, I think we got one over here. It's hidden." So we found one, But then he proceeds to be like, yeah, my mom loves the Jar of Dirt album. So you combine the Jar of Flies with dirt. And Kristen would not let that down for like the next 3 hours. She's like, we're at dinner. She's like, can you believe that kid said Jar of Dirt? Like, it was just...
That's rough.
That's how you know, though, like, the young kids trying to...
Yeah.
They don't get, you know what I mean? That's when you find out, like, your music...
You know, I've figured out that the people who like list Alice in Chains as their favorite band, like that's like it's like a fandom that's really like more so than most bands. Like if someone's like, I don't know, my favorite band's probably Nirvana. Like they like Nirvana, but they don't. It's not like Alice in Chains.
Yeah, it's a different fan base.
Billy just comes in hot and just calmly drops dirt. I mean, that was unbelievable.
Well, you know someone's
so
not
good.
You know someone's not a true Alice fan if they're like, yeah, like Down the Hole. That's like the first like song they actually say.
I don't think that at all.
Really?
No. The first songs people say are Man in the Box and Rooster.
That's Rooster. That's the one. Yeah, Rooster. Yeah.
Down in the Hole is no.
I meant Rooster. I meant Rooster.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say Down the Hole. Rooster. That's what I meant.
And really, there's no wrong answer. But hey,
That's true though.
what are you gonna do?
But I'm talking about like radio hits. If you know, everybody always names the radio hits.
Yeah,
There's
that's
other songs out there that.
Yeah, you know, we could go off on a whole music tangent here, but Dirt really is. I mean, it's a landmark album in history.
Yeah.
It's recorded during the LA riots in LA, and that's all over it. And it's such a dark, brooding album. It is. It's
a good album.
It might be tough for me not to answer that question the same way. I don't know. I'd have to think about it for a while.
I can't believe Joey gave us the Now album.
Imagine going in the Herbert Hoover locker room for a huge game, and Joey's got Now Volume 35 going.
It's got like Britney Spears or something.
I'll tell you what, though, whatever he's got going's working, so
Yeah,
who are we to
keep it
question
up.
it? Yeah. Maybe,
Keep it up.
Brandon, you need to throw Now Volume 31 in the headphones when you start training for this weight loss program.
Yeah, what are they on at this point? I mean, it's been years, right? They're still
Have you
making
ever
those?
owned a Now album?
No,
Hell no.
Jack, what's your Desert Island album?
I don't know. You know me. I don't have time for music.
I don't have time.
Even if you're on the island,
Like never in your life? Like you never...
I mean, it's mostly country. So
you like old country?
yeah, I do.
Like what would
dig
be
it,
your
like
country?
Merle Haggard
Like,
or
who's,
something.
yeah, who's like your favorite country artist?
I liked Alabama.
That's tough to beat. I mean, that's
Alabama's.
solid.
I mean, they are solid. I mean,
I
that's
feel
across
like
the
every
board.
human being has to like some Alabama songs.
That's
right?
across the board. I mean, if
Yeah.
you went out and polled people on what country act, Alabama would be probably one of the top answers. Garth
Yeah.
Brooks, guys like that.
I feel like the country nowadays is not really country.
terrible.
Yeah,
It's terrible. It's arena pop
it's,
music.
Outside of Tyler Childers,
It's-
who's great.
I mean, yeah, there are some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what gets played on
Luke
the radio
Combs
is
is all
terrible.
right. Luke Combs.
Yeah.
Is that his name? Luke Combs? He's all right.
All these guys blend together. All right, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm going to say something that I hope doesn't get us canceled. But hey, if we haven't been canceled now, whatever. Do you all not feel like every male country artist that comes out now just has the most stereotypically white name in history?
Yeah, we've talked about this
Like I
before.
can't even tell. Like there, it sounds like a. I don't know. Like it's just
Like Luke Bryan
the
and
most
stuff like that,
generic
yeah.
names. Like and then people are like, "Hey man, do you like Cody Johnson?" And I'm like, "Who?"
Yeah, and they all look the same.
Yeah, I bet he has jeans
Same-
and a cowboy hat. And he's
same,
singing about
yeah.
a beer in a truck.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
They don't even put cowboy hats on anymore.
No,
Really?
it's like a ball cap or yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I
Definitely the tight jeans, though.
the new
Skinny jeans.
Yeah, I'm out on 99.8% of the new stuff.
I can't do it, man.
And really, that's true in most genres. Actually, for me, that's how I know I'm old.
Who's that one guy, Morgan Wallen, or what's his name?
yeah, I
I
don't
mean, that guy.
Just charging $500 for a ticket.
His ticket
that's
prices
crazy.
here was unbelievable. It's like, who do you think we are here?
Like I didn't go see Tool
has
one
money
time
like that?
because our ticket was $220. And you know me.
They sold. He sold that show out too. And
And they do like wild laser shows and art stuff, and I understand why they're like, what is this guy doing?
I heard some song because my daughter loves 102 and all that pop 40 or top 40, and he has a song in there that's like a mix between country and like a hip hop beat.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
the weirdest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh,
And I'm like, what is this?
Broadway Girls, I think.
I don't know the name of it.
He's got a rapper that comes in.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, whatever. I'm all about whatever your artistic way you want to go.
See,
with
I
stuff.
think about country like when I went to my grandparents when I was a kid, and they broke out albums
Sure, yeah.
That was like, you know, my grandmother had like 45s of Conway Twitty
Oh,
and
yeah,
Hank
Conway
Williams
Twitty, yep.
Sr. and
Yeah.
Merle Haggard. And
Merle Haggard.
My grandmother was like a huge, like,
If you
old
ever
school Reba
on-
McEntire
on
and George Strait and those guys.
on
Yeah.
Saturday nights on a couple of country radio stations, one in Charleston and then one up, I believe, in Summersville. If you're driving down 79,
Yeah.
Summersville's
on
got
a Saturday
station out
night,
there.
they do a retro country.
See, I would listen to that.
Yeah, and I listen to a lot of that coming back from the View games on the Saturday night. If you go up for a football game,
That's cool.
There was a believability and an authenticity about it. Like, you believed, like, when those guys were singing about stuff that they really
they probably lived it.
Yeah, those dudes lived it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe Luke Bryan knows how to operate a tractor.
No.
I just don't. But I feel like if he would have dropped George Jones off in the middle of a prairie somewhere, he could have grown something. You know,
sure.
Like, maybe he couldn't have. Maybe he would have just got hammered and laid down in the ditch. I don't know. But either
That
way,
sounds more like my style.
well, I mean, and he sings songs about, like, you know, being heartbroken and drinking or whatever, and then you come to find out, I mean, the dude
Lived it.
literally.
Yeah, he lived
didn't he
it.
get a DUI for driving like a lawnmower drunk down the road?
I think he did.
Yeah, I mean,
I think you're right.
this is, you know, not that I'm encouraging people to get hammered, but I mean, it was real. What he was writing about was what he was really living, and
Yeah.
I'm the same way with hip hop. Like, if you're gonna write something,
Oh, that's a. I mean, I do like, because I like some hip hop, but there's some new art. There's a new
definitely
attitude.
knew more than me.
There's a new attitude with it now that they're trying to put in place. That, you know, you don't need the rap about the guns and stuff like that, because it's not even real. Just rap about your real life coming. You know what I mean?
And that's why I love Tupac. Because when he was rapping about that, he was literally really living it, you know? And not that you want to see somebody do that, but if you're going to talk about it, at least be real about it. And he was, obviously.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, you know, music has definitely evolved in different ways, mostly terrible.
yeah.
But
It's
they
funny,
were
like,
all,
our parents said that same thing probably, you know, 20, 30 years. I guess it's just a generational thing, but
I've never forget when I put in Mudvayne's first album for my dad the first time. I was like, this is awesome.
what a record that is.
I have it in my car right now. I think
Me too.
I'm listening to it whenever I leave here.
And down memory lane
my
there.
dad was like, holy hell, what
I actually
is this?
tuned my acoustic down the drop B the other day, and I was playing Death Blooms on there.
Yeah.
Kelsey's like, what is that? I'm like, don't worry about it.
You're like, this is a masterpiece.
It's-
That's what this is.
Yeah. It's transcendent.
Yeah, parents, man, generations. It's funny. Like, you just don't like some of the stuff. My son, he's 12, that shows me these little funny videos on TikTok, and I'm like, how is that? What is that?
I will say, you know, our parents, they had some. I mean, I still listen to some of their stuff. People just don't make music like that anymore.
No. They showed me the jiggle jiggle thing. I posted that on Facebook where that guy raps, and they made a rap out of it on TikTok. Jiggle jiggle.
Yeah.
Money don't fold. It wiggles or whatever. And they kept
Never heard.
and they kept playing me that, and I'm like, stop playing that, or I'm moving out right now. Stop playing that.
Well,
Can't take it.
Malia has like the same Taylor Swift record, and it was like her first one, which it's actually not the worst thing. Like, I can handle Taylor Swift. Like, she writes her own
Yeah,
stuff.
you said you didn't mind it.
I get that.
She's an
a
artist.
songwriter. I can respect that. But I do wish she'd like upgrade to a different record. It's like the same one for the last 4 years. It's all that comes out of her room.
Oh, she's just playing that same one.
The same one.
Is it what is it?
It's like the first one.
the first album.
Yeah, which.
Why don't you guys just get her
I'm
and
just like, God.
get her the other
I'm
album?
gonna
Then.
buy her. She likes Corn. I'm gonna buy Follow the Leader on disc, and I'm gonna give it to her.
Hey, speaking of that, I showed because my son's in the drums, and it was funny when we were at Rock and Brews in Florida. It's you'd love that place because they play like a lot of the old bands ran. They have the videos up, and Blind came on, and I was like,
All from Woodstock, or just the actual
just,
video?
just the actual video. But I showed him. I said, "This is great." But when we
Watch
watch this, I
That's
was like, watch this crowd.
It's the best music moment of our entire
Chills,
lifetime,
dude.
Yeah, That was unbelievable.
But he's stuck on it now. Like I'll hear him listen to Blonde, the Woodstock version. I'm like, I've never been prouder.
Jack, you ever seen that video?
No.
265,000 people going at it at once at a pit. Like,
it's just unbelievable. That song has already got enough energy. You listen to it, but
it's the best opener.
It's the way they bring it in because the band's on there and David's just doing his little.
They come in like one instrument at a time.
Yeah,
like every bar they add one more person, so that person walks out, and then
Jonathan
Davis
comes
rolls out and just starts it. And it's really crazy because at that show, there really was 250,000 people standing on the floor.
Huge amount of people.
And so you're watching as sound travels. So you jump up and down to the beat. But what happens is the further back you go, the later the sound's getting to it. It just creates this like wave of people, like for as far as you can see. And there's just bodies flying everywhere. I'm like, I'd have given anything to have been in there.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best.
So
like
cool.
It was in our intro. It's the "Are you ready?"
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Okay.
And he does that, and it goes crazy, dude. It's unbelievable. It's one of the best.
Yeah.
And my son's like hooked now.
I agree. I've seen them 4 times, and every time that happens, it's on, man. It's a great opener.
I just love watching David play drums because he's just beating the entire crap.
Underrated drummer for sure. Miss him. But
so there you go, man. Talking music. We got music in today.
Let's say you want to take a final break here.
Got NBA and music in today.
Well, I knew Billy was coming in with the hammer. That was the first question I was going to ask. Because I've posted some Alice in Chains love, and he's been like the one guy that's always like, hell yeah, man. And I'm like, okay. So to know that's his answer, man, that makes me even happier. So good deal.
All right, we'll take a break and we'll wrap up today's show. Maybe give our weights out there again, and then we're going to do at the end of the month. We're not going to check in
July
weekly.
15th. No.
Okay.
Let's let it be a surprise to everybody.
So that'll be going on.
It's going to be a lot of math though, trying to figure out percentages.
Are we going to do BMI calculator, or how are we doing the percentages?
Just weight percentage.
We'll have the guy from the tennis tournament do the
math.
calculations.
Give him a call.
God. That's a great one.
That's hilarious. All right, we'll take a break. We'll wrap it up here on the Brandon Lowe Show with Ryan Pritt. Show with Ryan Pritt, HD Media Sports Video Productions. Last segment here on this Friday show, and it's been a good one, man. It's a good conversation with Billy Sills over there in Huntington, and talk some music, talk a little bit of everything today. That's what we try to do on the show. Obviously, our weight loss challenge is in full swing, and I'm the fattest one in the room, which we all have to kind of figure that out. Ryan's the lightest at 221. So we'll have to keep track of that. And then, of course, Jack over there at 252. So we'll see what happens.
I think this is the heaviest I've been in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
I peaked at 230.
I think this is the heaviest I've been.
Usually when I get up in the upper 220s, that's when I'm like, all right. I just bounce between like 199 and 230. It's just this all year long.
Yeah.
I binge and eat until I can't stand myself, and then I'll lose 20 pounds.
The challenge is on.
Yeah,
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
3 guys in the scale.
Yeah, I'm not even driving back to the office. I'm just going to go ahead and run.
Brandon's going to be so far behind by Sunday. I mean, this is
he's got a big meal ready for Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty much not going to drink or eat basically for the next 4
after
weeks.
Sunday.
I don't believe for one second you're not drinking for the next 4 weeks. There's no way.
I'm kicking it completely.
He's going to start playing mind games on you.
I'm gonna have Kristen do like a daily log.
I might mix in like a little bit of wine.
There we go.
That's about it.
See, already.
A lot of sugar in that.
Red wine.
A lot of sugar in that.
I'm only going to do a little. I'm not going to do a whole glass.
I don't believe that
I'd
either.
be like once a week.
There's
Trees.
absolutely no chance.
Put a little in my lips.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No chance that happens.
Then spit it out.
All right, a few things going on other than Brandon's lies. U.S. Open, which we haven't touched on, mid-second round today. Yeah. Scotty Scheffler making a huge move here late. You'll remember him. He won the Masters. Pretty good. He's 4 under on his back 9, and he is now tied for the lead.
Nice.
Looks like we got a 6-way tie at -3. Rory McIlroy a part of that, actually. He shot a 67 yesterday, has not gone off today. Nick Hardy finished his round today at 268. Best round on the golf course. He's tied for first. So I think it's going to be wild, and it's going to be, I watched, first of all, thank you, USA Network, and whoever's affiliated with this. They're showing all of it. It comes on the air at like 8 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. And every year we have majors, and I'm sitting there at like 10, and I want to watch golf, and there's not on, and I'm like, what the hell are we doing? Like, why is this not on TV?
I don't know. I hate that so much.
Like, everyone wants to see that if you've got a TV, you know, just have it on in the background, or if you work at home like me, like I've got it on, I'm like half paying attention, like we'll watch. Just put the whole damn major on, you know, and they've done that. So thank you.
I think it's the whole thing with CBS hogging that final round on Sunday, and they want that buildup of audience.
Yeah, but I mean, you would think if people got to watch all of it leading up to that, there would be more of a buildup.
Actually, they do Saturday too, right? Saturday and Sunday on CBS.
Yeah, and
it's late. They start at like 3 on Saturday.
3, and like half of the guys in the morning are already done. Yeah. It's like, what? Why can't I just watch?
They need. We've talked about this before. They just need to do a better job of, especially majors. I mean, I understand if it's just whatever. You know, McIlroy just won the Canadian Open or whatever it's called.
RBC,
yeah, and you know, he's obviously got some momentum. But we've seen that happen so many times where he comes out on fire and then just drops off. But
I love seeing him. Like every time he's interviewed, he takes a shot at one of the LIV guys.
He just did when everybody,
I love him for that. I have so much more. I already liked Rory a lot, but I have so much more respect for that guy because he's just like he won his 21st, which is one more than Greg Norman, and he had to make sure that Greg Norman knew it. Last week.
Yeah. He just said that at the end.
One more than someone else. Just kind of looked at the camera, and I'm like, let's see what you're laying down there.
Did you see the video, speaking of that, of the drive? I forget who did it, was driving, but the ball, and it hit a dude in the top of the head, and he just dropped. Did you see that at the live?
No.
But it was like a delayed. People were speculating if he was just doing that for effect. But he just, like, hits his head, and then he kind of sits there, and he's just, like flops back. I'm like, that guy. The funniest part is the golfer's face. Like, he's just like.
Golf spectators are it's the weirdest thing.
Like, he did like the soccer thing.
He probably had an attorney beside him and told him, "Hey, fall down."
Yeah, I never understood why when someone like hits it into the rough, people like sprint up and like circle around.
Yeah, they all look at it.
Like it's like a precious gemstone or something. You can't reach down and touch it. You're gonna have to move. What is the point?
They're just wanting to get on TV.
By the way,
or the guy that's like, get in the hole, and someone's like 90 feet. That guy should be escorted out every time.
Exactly.
Hey, by the way, had a little too many pops at the Greenbrier Classic one, and so I think
you were going to say like last night. I was like, good start already. I'm sorry.
I think it was lefty or whatever. He was, you know, doing his thing driving, and the ball bounced like right near us, and I totally forgot. Like, you're not supposed to touch the ball. Like, you're not supposed to just grab it and
go, touch the ball.
No, I stopped. My stepdad was like, "Whoa," because I went over to it. I was kind of lit, but I kind of forgot the rules.
Phil Mickelson beats up Brandon on the first fairway,
and that happened. Yeah, I had to stop myself.
I saw a British reporter.
Usually, there's a rope there.
Well, there is, but it passed. It was in. Like, he hit a bad shot. It went actually into.
It would be okay.
Yeah, so it landed like right in front of us.
I saw a British reporter yesterday who had Lee Westwood and Ian Poulter and someone else up there, guys that had played in the Live Tour, and he goes, literally in front of a packed house of reporters, he's like, "Is there any tournament that you guys wouldn't play?" And they're looking at him like, "What?" And he's like, so if Vladimir Putin had a tournament, would you play in it for the right amount of money?
Didn't they kick him out of that for that?
No. And the guys are like looking at him, and none of them would answer.
That's awesome.
I'm like, no. How do you have to
say no?
Yeah, like, no, I wouldn't.
The right answer is no immediately.
We don't feel that's a hypothetical. Like, we can't answer that. Like,
that's unbelievable.
Like, what? This guy's like, if Vladimir Putin had a tournament, would you play in it?
If Hitler comes back alive and has a golf tournament,
I credit to that guy though.
No, the answer is no.
What a question to gut up and ask. I mean, that's awesome.
I love. That's great.
Yeah. One more thing I think we ought to touch on, though we haven't, and we don't do baseball a lot, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Alec Manoah may win a Cy Young this year.
I know. I saw.
He keeps it up. He does.
Yeah, he's the front runner right now. Of course, at WU grad. Well, I don't know. Did he graduate or did he leave a year or whatever it was? He played for WU.
He left early. He left his junior year.
I think he came on the scene as a rookie midway through last year and posted some really good numbers. And boy, has he just picked up right where he left off. And he has turned into one of the best starting pitchers in baseball.
Yeah.
I was trying to look into how we can get him on the show, but I don't know where to go. We'll have to talk about that.
Yeah.
But, I might even just reach out to Maisie myself, and I text him occasionally anyway.
But I mean, he's been lights out. Of course, you had John Means, who threw a no-hitter last year for the Orioles.
Yeah.
That was a former W guy.
He's injured now.
Yeah, he's run into some Tommy John situation there. But what Manoah's doing, I mean, it's pretty remarkable, and I'm not sure it gets talked about.
I heard a stat in his first 30 games, he's won 17 games, and that is the best in the history of Major League Baseball.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah, he's doing some. You look at ERA, quality starts, wins, strikeout. He's in that top 5 to 10 in every category right now. So
I mean, he was unbelievable at WU. I mean, obviously it's another level when you get to the majors, and then obviously he had to climb the ranks to get over there to the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
But
I just wanted to shout him out.
That's awesome.
I mean, obviously, if you're a half baseball guy, kind of half paying attention, check him out if you get to. He's some must-watch TV right now. And
I mean, that squad
starting against the Red Sox and the Yankees and well, he plays for the Blues, but the Rays. I mean, those are good teams he's in there against too. So
I would point to that squad that year where they hosted a regional.
Yeah.
Really had me captivated into college baseball for a little bit. Like, that's really what brought me in. I mean, obviously I followed it, and I like Maisie and stuff, but I was really in tune that year. And Manoah had some great games that year, and then even in postseason was great. So
yeah, of course we got the Yak Fest tonight. Come see us. It sounds like me and Jack will definitely be there.
Yeah, today and tomorrow. It takes place down there in St. Albans.
Yeah,
I'm trying to go to the pool this evening. We haven't gone all week because it's been like 190. So.
I tell you what, after last show, there's no way I would swim in that pool.
Yeah. What pool is that? Oh, that's the
pool in the
private pool.
The public, private. Yeah,
it's not a private pool.
It's gated. We couldn't get in there anyway.
It's not gated.
Not only that, but the whole thing is nothing but uric acid. So
yeah.
Did you Google what comes out of it?
We got West Virginia open next week. I may try to see if we can't get somebody on Monday.
That'd be cool.
Where's that at?
I'll be at Stonewall Resort.
That's right.
Roanoke.
Yeah.
And that is going to be fun.
Is that no? That's not the place. That's Greenbrier. That you have that place you go to, the place you would stay.
Yeah, this is gonna be a little different because usually when they're at these resorts and stuff, I'm not staying at a resort, but get a room somewhere near the resort. I don't know what's near Roanoke. I may be staying in Bridgeport. I don't know.
Flatwoods.
That's 30 miles. Or 22 miles.
Yep.
I think Roanoke is
That's
exit
a lot
91, I believe.
Western exit. Yeah,
Yeah,
off the western
you may
exit.
have to go above it even, like Bridgeport area, maybe, Clarksburg, Anmore. I don't know how much further that is up the road from there.
It's not much.
Well, Buchanan, you could probably stay. That's only 8 miles.
There's nothing in Weston?
What exit's Weston?
99.
No, that's Buchanan.
It's the western exit.
And
then you take 33 over to Buchanan.
Yeah, that's probably where it will have to be. So
there you go.
Yeah, figured that out.
I believe there's a hotel right off the western exit.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that'll be fun. Try to get somebody in here on Monday. Maybe talk to us a little bit about that. See what we can pull off. So, but yeah, anything else?
I think that's it. Just keep watching our weight loss challenge that we're gonna have all month. And,
yep. And then of course high school. 3-week period taking place.
Yeah, so we'll keep doing the scoop.
Different counties doing different
boys
periods.
Basketball shootout
That's
at
right.
St. Albans is on the horizon. You can probably read more about that here in the next few days from me. So,
okay,
we'll have a story on that.
That's at West Virginia State.
Yeah, it's going to be
2
a big
days.
deal. Coaches clinic, whole deal. It's going to be a huge deal. So
yeah, I encourage everybody obviously to read all the stuff over on Gazette Mail and Herald Dispatch. You just did that column on Pat and his wife there and everything they're going through with Father's Day coming up. That was a good piece.
Thank you.
So
appreciate it.
Make sure to check that out. You did the Pitt article too, right?
Yeah, and
Starting to do
there'll
those.
be one on Kansas and on Sunday's paper. Of course, we're going right down the schedule, so that'll be in Sunday, and then we'll have Towson next week. Marshals are running 2. Luke Creasy's got 2 a week. I've got 2 a week. So he's going right down Marshall's schedule as well. There'll be a George Washington girls basketball feature coming probably tonight into tomorrow's paper. So yeah,
A lot of stuff coming out.
Cranking stuff out. Yeah, we're working on some other things too. So be good stuff.
Support the writers, support our social media pages, give us a like and all that good stuff. Twitter at BLR Pod, Facebook here at Lowe Show. So just give us a like and let us know what we're doing. Let us know if we're doing a good job or not or whatever. We like the feedback from you all. A lot of love out there, so we appreciate it. All right, thank you to Billy Seals. Thank you for everybody watching and listening today. Back on Monday here on the Brandon Lowe Show with Ryan Pritt. Thanks again.